current affairs and news stories of the week with the help of two wonderful comedian panellists. I brought in comics because I want to give it a lighter edge, and also they work for less. See you there.
Join my show Farage, 7 p.m. till 8 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and there you will get opinion, analysis, debate, and I'll cover stories that nobody else dares to touch. And then for the last 15 minutes, talking pints. We're over a drink. We have a civilized conversation with someone. We very often disagree, but we do it in a grown-up way. Come and join me on Farage.
I'm Colin Brazier. I've reported from more than 70 countries around the world, covered wars from Afghanistan to Iraq, from Lebanon to the Balkans. I'm trying to bring that experience, that feel for events, to the studio. And something else, I'm ready to give an opinion. Today's stories with a spark. Brazier from 8 p.m. weekdays on GB News.
Good morning and welcome to GB News with Bradley Harris and me, Ellie Costello.
It's Boxing Day. Thanks for joining us. We hope you've been having a lovely Christmas, whatever you've been up to, and enjoying your leftover turkey, because we know you've got some. Coming up, we've got a special programme this hour with Nana Acquia, where no topic is off limits. But first, it's the news with Bethany.
Good morning, I'm Bethany Elsey. This is your news at 11 o'clock. Tributes are being paid to South Africa's Archbishop Desmond Tutu, who died aged 90. The Nobel Peace Laureate, who helped end apartheid, is being remembered for his humour and fight to reconcile a divided nation. The Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, described him as a critical figure in the struggle to create a new South Africa. And the country's president says his death marks another chapter of bereavement in the nation's farewell to a generation of outstanding people.
It's actually very sad, and I don't think not only for South Africa, but for Africa as a continent. We have lost a great icon.
I feel very, very, very down emotionally right now, because he was somebody that almost everybody liked, especially the kids.
It was a real shock to us. He
was a great man.
He's somebody to look up to, and we're really going to miss him.
New COVID restrictions have been reintroduced across the UK's devolved nations to try and curb the spread of the Omicron variant. In Scotland, 1 metre social distancing has been reinstated at large indoor events. Attendance is also limited to 100 people standing or 200 people sitting. In Wales, the rule of 6 will be enforced in pubs, cinemas and restaurants, where face masks must be worn and contact tracing details will be collected. And in Northern Ireland, indoor standing events are now banned and nightclubs closed. The rule of 6 and 2 metre social distancing applies to indoor public spaces. Well, the Prime Minister hasn't announced any further rules beyond Plan B for England, but says he will not hesitate to act after Christmas if required. It's understood a meeting for ministers to be updated with the latest coronavirus data is yet to be scheduled, but Number 10 has not ruled out the possibility it could take place tomorrow. Meanwhile, a source close to the Education Secretary says he's confirmed schools will be kept open throughout January. The number of people getting their first COVID-19 vaccine has jumped by 46% in the third week of December. Over 220,000 first doses were administered in England in the week up to the 21st. That's a record high. The number of 18 to 24-year-olds receiving their first jab increased by 85%, and there was a 71% increase for those aged 25 to 30. In other news, 2 members of the charity Save the Children are missing after government troops in Myanmar killed more than 30 villagers. The soldiers rounded up a number of people, some believed to be women and children, before fatally shooting them and burning their bodies. Myanmar's military says the people killed were terrorists with weapons from the opposition armed forces. The Scottish Ambulance Service has spent more than 70 days dealing with hoax calls in the past 8 years. The service received over 4,000 calls that operators define as being malicious. The service said hoax calls can put lives at risk by taking up valuable resources that are needed to respond to life-threatening situations. And pubs and clubs could enjoy extended opening hours to celebrate the Queen's Platinum Jubilee next year. Under new government plans, venues across England and Wales will be able to serve customers for an extra 2 hours on the bank holiday weekend. The Queen will celebrate her 70th year as monarch on the 5th of June. That's your news update. I'll be back with the latest headlines in an hour.
Thanks, Bethany. Now, it's billed as the busiest shopping day of the year, where millions of shoppers are expected to hit the shops and bag themselves a bargain.
But is the high street really as busy as it once was? Or are shoppers deciding instead to stay at home, stay dry, find those bargains online and avoid the crowds? Well, joining us now is retail expert Jeremy Baker. Jeremy, Merry Christmas to you. Thank you very much for joining us on your Boxing Day. Now, it's very rainy and snowy in lots of parts of the country today. So how many people are we actually expecting to turn out on the high street?
Things are going pretty well, actually. People have got used to all the drama in life and COVID and the rest of it. They're kind of focusing on the home and buying things and, you know, in the sense of we're living through tremendously dramatic times, but we're learning to live with that.
Yeah, I mean, technology is playing a big part in all of this. People can buy things with just a click of a button now. But do you think that there is a future for the traditional high street shop?
Well, at the moment, today, it all depends on Boris, actually. So in the shop world, they're kind of watching what's Boris going to do. Is good news or bad news? Will you be able to go on holiday or not? These are very, very big forces at play here, and until Boris speaks, frankly, we're not sure what's going to happen. Let's say holidays are really cut back by regulations and fear of COVID. That means people have got a few £1,000s which they would have spent, but it's now available to something else. So spending on the home is a possibility, spending on shops, or simply saving because, life is a bit of a worry at the moment. Another factor is the idea of inflation, that prices are shooting up. It's pretty worrying on inflation. And so people get a sense of that. They're going to be more careful. I think the shopper at the moment is kind of, not sure which way to move and ready to jump almost in any direction. Let's say holidays are kind of allowed, if you can put it like that, then there's a pent-up demand to go on holiday. Everyone would love to go on the holiday they didn't have in 2021. But at the moment, as of this moment in time, we don't know what's going to happen on that.
Jeremy, how much of a bargain can we actually bag today on Boxing Day? Or is it a case of the shops just getting rid of their old stock ready for the new year? I've also heard of some shops and online retailers, they mark their prices down to make it look like you're getting a bargain, but you're not actually getting one in real life. What do you make of that?
I would say shop now because prices are going to go up. And also, we have to be very careful. Of course, shops put up the price, then they drop the price and say, oh, we dropped the price. They haven't really dropped it compared to the previous year. So I would be, if you want something like a new computer or a new sofa, it could be today is a bargain day. You've got to look around. You've got to be really shrewd, actually. To be a shopper these days is hard work. You've got to be careful, look things up, because so many forces are at play. So at the moment, they want you to come into the shop and buy. So we see lower, reduced prices. At the same time, the retailer knows that costs are going to go up. And the costs are going up, competition's up. So the retailer is really squeezed between costs up, competition up. It's a very difficult time for retailers. That means good news for consumers. There's bargains out there if you're really willing to look and be careful. So I would say shop now because prices are going to be higher later. Another factor that's going on at the moment is luxury. We've seen that Selfridges has just been bought. So somebody believes that the luxury sector is, due to expand, due to recover. So it's possible that, luxury is going to come back. People are going to be more confident. They're kind of being knocked by COVID. If you survive now, you're a kind of real tough shopper. And so, well done you. Bargains are out there. Luxury might come back. Or Boris is going to ruin everything for everybody. As of 11 o'clock this morning, we're not sure.
Jeremy, you say that there are bargains out there. You are a retail expert yourself. Will you be going out today and scouting out those bargains?
I will actually, but they'll probably be online. Funnily enough, I like the idea of going around, shopping malls, and there's so much pleasure in watching people. People these days dress up to go shopping. It's a real kind of self-expression of their personality and their place in society. People are shopping, look in a big shopping mall, they look really nice. And it's a very kind of positive atmosphere. Britain's making progress. Everything is, you're surrounded by well-off people, all having a good time.
Jeremy, I hope you can bag yourself a bargain in the sales today. I hope you enjoy yourself. Thank you very much for talking to us. I have to cut you short, I'm afraid, but have a lovely Boxing Day and enjoy those sales. That's Jeremy Baker. He's a retail analyst. Great to have you on.
Yeah, good to hear his thoughts. Well, let's go live now to our reporter, Amelia Harper, who's in Oxford Street in central London for us. Amelia, it looks pretty wet out there, but you're standing on what is the busiest shopping street in Europe. How's it looking? Are many people out and about?
Well, quite right. I mean, today is supposed to be the UK's busiest shopping day, really, but some shops, including Next, Aldi and M&S, are deciding, amid the spread of this Omicron COVID variant, to keep their stores closed today. One such department store where this is not the case is Selfridges, and I think your guest was just speaking about Selfridges, actually. And just before we came up on air for the last hour, there has been a large queue, actually, on either sides of the main doors, but they have now opened and people have started going in. The sense that I'm getting today is that we are seeing a reduced footfall overall, but perhaps shoppers are targeting particular stores that they want to go in. But this is all come amid these Omicron cases. We saw over 100,000 cases for the first time in the pandemic over earlier in this week, and that is seemingly what is keeping shoppers away from high streets. On Christmas Eve, footfall in central London was 30% down on the previous Friday. London was hit harder than any other parts of the UK in terms of footfall. However, for online retail footfall, or we could call it fingerfall perhaps, Brad and Ellie, that was down 14%. So there is some good news for retailers in the changing nature of the shopping habits that we're seeing at the moment. But in terms of what we are seeing, there's a survey that's been done by Barclaycard's Payments, and they have found that more people are going to be shopping from the comfort of their own home. However, the amount that they are going to spend is going to be much higher than previous years. On average, people are predicted to spend £245 in these post-Christmas sales. That is an £85 increase on what we saw last year. But I mean, having a look around, it is still pretty quiet. Normally, these streets would be absolutely packed. We had flagship store Harrods open its Boxing Day sales in the run-up to Christmas to try to spread out this Christmas rush amid what they are calling ongoing trading difficulties. So it seems, I think, that going forward, perhaps online retail is looking the way forward, I think, for the time being, certainly here in London.
Amelia, we're seeing a few people behind you just popping into Selfridges. Will you be joining them a little bit later?
Well, Ellie, it'll only be once my shift finishes. I'm a consummate professional, but no, I have a tag that needs to be taken off a scarf, so I might have to pop in somewhere.
Good for you, Amelia. All for research purposes, of course. Well, I hope you very much enjoy the sales. It looks great on Oxford Street. Really good to have you there for us. Thank you very, very much. Well, what are you up to on your Boxing Day today? It's all about the leftover turkey, snacking on all those boxes of biscuits and chocolates, and, of course, the Boxing Day sales. So do let us know, gbnews@gbnews.uk.
I'll be out shopping.
You'll be out
shopping. Yeah, as soon as I'm done here, I will be shopping till I drop, as I've mentioned. Bags on both arms, you name it, I'll be there. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you're in London, Brad. You've got to
be
enjoy.
done. I've got to make the most of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before I go back up to Manchester, I'm going to make the most of it. What about you? Are you going
It's the eating for me. I think
Really?
when we wrap up here, I think I'll be doing a leftovers.
I stayed at yours last night. As we said yesterday, Christmas dinner, the turkey was
Do you like your
good.
dinner?
I can confirm.
Did we do a good job?
It was good. 10 out of 10. Absolutely brilliant.
Good,
So
good.
Yeah, really, really good. Really
Smash the
enjoyed it, yeah.
timings. As we heard yesterday, we had a chef on yesterday. It's all about the timings. We've got all the different elements of the Christmas dinner, all about the timings. I'm very glad that we did a
and
good job
there was
for you.
no stress at all. There was, no cups of tea were needed. As we heard yesterday, a cup of tea really helps.
We didn't
if
need
you
a timeout.
are having a stressful Christmas. But yeah, it was really good. Really, and I'm very jealous that you're going to be having the leftovers as well.
Yeah, I've got all that to look forward to. Let's get the weather for you now on your Boxing Day.
It's time to remind ourselves there's always another winter. Canary Islands sponsors the weather.
Looking ahead to today's weather then, and the UK is looking cold in the north with some hill snow, milder elsewhere with cloud and rain. Let's take a look at the details. It will start rather cloudy in the southwest with some bright or sunny spells in places. There will be a few showers for northern coasts and feeling mild for all. However, it will be a cloudy start in the southeast with outbreaks of rain. The cloud will be low, bringing murky conditions and hill fog. Some bright or possibly sunny spells for South Wales, but mostly cloudy here with the odd shower possible. It will be a mild start here. It will also start mild across the Midlands, but overcast and murky with low cloud and hill fog. The cloud will be thick enough to bring some light rain or drizzle at times. Also a cloudy start in the northeast, but it will feel cold here. There will be outbreaks of rain and hill snow, especially over the Pennines, bringing difficult driving conditions for a time, so be careful out there. Cloudy and cold for southern Scotland. As we start Boxing Day, there will be patchy outbreaks of rain where the cloud thickens, and also some hill snow over the higher ground. A milder start for those of us in Northern Ireland, but also cloudy. There will be some showery rain at times, and this will be accompanied by strong winds. Rain and hill snow will clear east, but remaining rather cloudy with some locally heavy showers in the west. And that is how the weather is shaping up for the rest of the day.
Canary Islands sponsors the weather.
You're watching GB News live across the UK and the world on our digital stream.
GB News is Britain's news channel.
We are the UK's home of discussion and debate from all perspectives.
We are here for you. Don't forget to join our YouTube community by clicking on that subscribe button.
And if you want the GB News app, you can click and catch up on programmes anytime.
We love to hear from you, so email us.
gbviews@gbnews.uk.
Thanks for being part of the GB News family.
My name is Andrew Doyle. Join me every Sunday evening at 7 p.m. for Free Speech Nation. This is a show where we address current affairs and news stories of the week with the help of two wonderful comedian panellists. I brought in comics because I want to give it a lighter edge, and also they work for less. See you there.
Join my show Farage, 7 p.m. till 8 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and there you will get opinion, analysis, debate, and I'll cover stories that nobody else dares to touch. And then for the last 15 minutes, talking pints. We're over a drink. We have a civilized conversation with someone. We very often disagree, but we do it in a grown-up way. Come and join me on Farage.
I'm Colin Brazier. I've reported from more than 70 countries around the world, covered wars from Afghanistan to Iraq, from Lebanon to the Balkans. I'm trying to bring that experience, that feel for events, to the studio. And something else. I'm ready to give an opinion. Today's stories with a spark. Brazier from 8 p.m. weekdays on GB News.
Join us for the Political Correction. We're here every Sunday to correct politics and put you, the people, back in charge.
We talk about all areas of the United Kingdom, including Northern Ireland.
Our debate goes way beyond the Westminster Village. It's about the real country. It's about your opinion. So please, we want you to tell us what you think.
This is the Political Correction.
Every Sunday morning from 10 a.m. here on GB News.
You're watching GB News live across the UK, the world, and our digital stream.
GB News is Britain's news channel.
We are the UK's home of discussion and debate from all perspectives.
We're here for you. Don't forget to join our community by hitting the subscribe button.
And download the GB News app so you can click and catch up on programmes anytime.
We love to hear from you. Email us at gbviews@gbnews.uk.
Thanks for being part of the GB News family.
Hello and welcome to a special programme here on GB News. I'm Nana Akwe, and for the next half an hour, join me as I take you through a series of difficult but inspiring conversations. Each week on my Saturday show between 4 to 6 p.m, I sit down with someone who's not had the easiest of times in life to hear their story in their own words. It's not always easy to talk about, but join me and together we'll hear an untold story that deserves to be heard. What if I could tell you, give or take a few days or weeks, the likely date that you're going to die? That's the reality for people living with terminal illnesses. Back in August, I met artist Helen Lack. At just 54, she was given the news that would change the course of her life. She was diagnosed with triple-negative breast cancer. We sat down to discuss what it's like living with a terminal illness, and she started by sharing that moment when she was told of her diagnosis.
We go back to January of 2020. I've been on an amazing holiday with my family. I went back to Australia, which was just everything I could have envisaged. It was a dream come true. I came back to the UK